Hey, how's it going guys? TechNotice here, and there has been a lot of debate on whether Touch ID or Face ID is the better authentication. Now today we're going to be doing a thorough test to see which one actually comes out on top. Face ID is actually a very new technology right now, and hopefully it is updated in the near future. The only thing that I'm most concerned about is when Face ID cannot detect your face. That's where Touch ID comes in handy, and for those little tight spots that you can't lift the phone up to your face, that's when Touch ID actually really shines right there. Now this is depending on personal preference honestly, but I see that I do use Touch ID a little bit more than I am using Face ID in this instance. So let's go ahead and let's get started. Alright, so for the first test, it's going to be inside the shower. We all hate to admit it, but we probably all do it. We watch our YouTubes, we scroll through the news feed in Facebook and everything like that. So in this video, I'm going to be building this little guy right here, or actually just finished building this guy for this test. Now I'm going to be dropping this and the iPhone 10 right on here while I'm actually taking a shower. And we're gonna see how well it actually performs in water, in steam, and everything of that sort. Now I'm just gonna get this started. I'll launch it up right on this little Android guys right here. And if you guys like it, drop me a comment below, and remember to hit that like button for me guys. It will show me how much you guys like this. But I'll leave it right here and I'll start to shower up right away. Alright guys, so we do have the water head running right now. So if you guys can hear in the background, it's running pretty hard. We got the steam going right now as well. So it's going to get pretty foggy, and I'm going to try to step in without actually ruining my camera right here. Both of the devices right there are waterproof or water resistant IP67. So that shouldn't be an issue, but this camera isn't sadly. And I'm looking to upgrade to another camera that actually does it other than a GoPro. But here you guys go. I got the iPhone X just sitting at the bottom there. But we're going to start out with the iPhone 7 right here. So it's IP67, the same ratings on both devices. Now I've got both my hands wet, and usually the screen doesn't react very well, and this is expected. However, the Touch ID sensor is a little bit different. Sometimes it would react, sometimes it doesn't, but I'll just show you guys right on camera right here. Hands are completely soaking, dripping down, and I just want to access my phone right now. Now let's just tap onto Touch ID. So as you can see that it doesn't recognize anything. It's telling me to try again each and every single time, and probably 9 out of 10 times it probably would not work. Now Touch ID, this is the limitation of it. It does require you to have the exact prints going into the system, and it'll go and it'll match it up with the secure enclave. And since that's not working, I'm not getting the reading. Pretty much this is a fail for the Touch ID in this instance. So we'll drop this down and we'll switch it over to Face ID. Alright guys, so we're back at it again. I'm just wetting my hands right now and we're going to test it. We have the iPhone 10 or the iPhone X sitting right up there. So we're just going to touch the screen because this has raise to touch or touch to wake, whatever it's called right now. So we'll just touch it and get it to scan my face really quickly. If you guys, I'll angle it, and you guys can see that it did unlock. So all you have to do is just swipe up and you should be good to go. There you go. So we'll just test out one more time on camera for you guys. And again, you guys can see in my previous video I mentioned that the lock icon, that's not because I'm raising the device at a different angle. It's just having some weird glitch where the lock icon actually goes off of the screen, which is very odd. But once again, because it does not use my fingers at all, it uses my face. My face can be completely wet or not, it would still work. So very nice here. I can use my finger, I can touch the screen, and as soon as I touch it, it should reach my face right up there and it should unlock perfectly. There you go. Very nice. Now we're going to move on to the next test here. Alright guys, and the next test we're going to do is going to be the water test. So let's just imagine that we were swimming in a swimming pool and we had our phone along with us to record some of the crazy actions underneath the water. Now we're going to start out with the Touch ID once again. Now we're going to begin with this and see how well it does. Let's just drop it into water here and let's try for Touch ID. Now we'll let it sit in there for a few moments here. We even get the water going a little bit just to imitate the water in a pool where everybody else is swimming. We got it running a little bit here. That's enough. And let's go for Touch ID action here. We'll press onto the button. And nothing seems to be working. So it seems like the display is going on, but it doesn't seem like it's actually reacting to my fingerprint. So Touch ID once again has failed here. I'm going to try it a couple of times. Let's do it right above water here. And it still doesn't recognize anything. It doesn't even say that the prompt of Touch ID is even working. So let's drop it underneath water one more time. Wow, it's cold. But yeah, it seems like Touch ID failed in this case here. Now let's go for the second one. We'll go for Touch or Face ID here. And this is brand new, never been tested underneath the water yet. So we'll just have to see how well it handles here. You can actually see the infrared light just kind of flickering on camera here. For some of you guys that were questioning, you wouldn't see this in real life. Our eyes can't detect infrared light. Only the camera can, so that's why you guys are seeing it. But let's just drop it underneath the water here, and I'll tilt my head so I can actually pick it up. Now let's put it underneath. And for some reason, it already detects that it is scanning for a face right now. The screen obviously wouldn't do anything because that's not how screens work underneath the water. But I'll let it to scan my face right now. And I gotta bring it back to the action where it does that. So the thing here is, guys, it wouldn't even work because there is no home button to actually activate the screen. You actually have to swipe up, and since the screen doesn't respond to the swiping up, there's nothing you can really do. Let's try with the button on the side here. And as you guys can see, the lock button, the lock icon kind of just vibrated, meaning that it couldn't detect my face at all. Let's try one more time. We'll turn it off and we'll turn it back on. Oh, and it actually unlocked, guys. Surprisingly, holy crap. So Face ID apparently does work underneath water. We'll have to test that one more time. So let's try it one more time here. We'll lock the device. And just imagine we're swimming underneath the water here. And we'll just unlock it. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Maybe the water has to be a little bit more still. But let's try it one more time. So there you go. You guys can actually see that it unlocked right underneath the water there. So Face ID, 2 wins there so far. We're going to jump straight to our next test now. So the next one is going to be Apple Pay. So you guys have Apple Pay. There's 40 million retailers that are accepting Apple Pay across the nation right now. You guys see I have a little terminal right here. Now I'm just going to test out how quick Apple Pay works on Touch ID versus Face ID. So right away in my pockets, I'm going to whip out Touch ID really quickly and we'll start paying. So double click and we'll put your finger on it. Done. So that takes roughly about a second. Now let's go for the second one, which is Face ID again. So let's put it in our pocket. Example, we're just walking along and bam, you got Face ID coming out and Apple Pay is activated. So there you go, Face ID doesn't even work. Now I actually have to align it with my face. And in most cases, it would actually work very well because this time along, I do have a camera right in front of me. So wouldn't pick it up. But generally, it would take probably about a second longer than it would on Touch ID over here, sadly. So again, we'll just demo it one last time here. Let's pull up Apple Pay again on the device. So make sure Apple Pay is ready to be accepted. Now 1, 2, 3, whip it out real quick. Boom, Apple Pay. Let's do one more time. Let's see the action here, guys. Double click, Apple Pay, done. Now let's go for Face ID. Turn off the device. Whip it out, 1, 2, 3, double tap, scan your face. It says pay for passcode or use passcode because Face ID doesn't work. We'll touch it, pretend that it works. Roughly 2 seconds later, bam, should work too. So there you go. This one, the win goes to Touch ID. Alright guys, and for the next test, it's going to be an outdoors test. So as you guys already know, winter is coming up and it's getting pretty chilly outside. So we're going to have to start packing. And the one we're going to take a look at is going to be gloves. So once you have gloves on right here, it's going to pretty much limit your fingerprints from going through anything, especially for Touch ID. So I'm going to show you guys really quickly the limitations of Touch ID and wearing your gloves during the winter. Now I'm going to pull down really quick. And again, I'm going to rip it out of my pocket. Bam, just like this, and Touch ID would not work. So there you go. I'll click it as many times as I want, but it will not go through. Now that's the limitation. Every time you want to use your phone, you'll actually have to take off your gloves and use it that way, or you can enter in your passcode by pressing the Touch ID multiple times. And once that doesn't work, you can type in your your passcode. But again, passcode requires you to take off your gloves anyway, so it's pretty much useless in this point. No matter what, you're going to have to take off your gloves to use your iPhone 8 and below. Now, we'll put that away real quick, and let's jump over to the iPhone 10 here. So the iPhone 10 obviously doesn't really matter if you have gloves on or not because it uses your face. And once again, here you guys go. I'll pick it up, and at an angle here, it will just automatically unlock no matter what you have on your body. You can have gloves, have scarves, have hat, have pretty much anything, and we'll put it back down, raise it back up again, it would just automatically unlock, as you can see right there. And all you have to do is just swipe up and should be good to go. But the thing is, here is the gloves probably would not work unless it's one of those conductive gloves that works through the display. But at least you can unlock your device, and just by looking at it, you can see your notifications. So that's a plus right there. Very nice. One plus for the Face ID once again. So we're 3 up and running for the Face ID, and you will have 1 for Touch ID so far. So we'll just continue on to the next test. Alright, and moving on with the next test, we have the driving test here. So you get pretty distracted while you're driving. You gotta concentrate on the road anyways. I'm just gonna borrow my friend's car here real quick just because it's already in the parking lot. But here you guys go. So Touch ID, if you guys really want to pick up your Touch ID and you want to use it you want to use your iPhone, you're gonna have to pick it up, place your finger, take your head off of the road, and actually look down at the screen. So you actually have to put your finger right here quickly to access your screen and see your notifications. For Face ID, pretty much just pick up your device and you should be good to go. However, I'm gonna have a different scenario here. While I'm driving quickly on the road, I can actually just leave my face pointing directly forward and then just pick up my device, put my fingers on it just like this without turning my head, and the device will be unlocked. And this wouldn't require me again to take my face off the road at all. My eyes are always concentrated on the road, and I can quickly glance at over here and see what notifications I have without taking my eyes off the road. So I keep repeating this, but then again, driving, your eyes should always be faced forward. Now with Face ID, this is what I have to do. So just imagine I'm driving roughly at 100k right now, and I actually have to look down my face right here, get the device unlocked, and pretty much look at my notification and swipe one more time. So it's such a long process right here, and that's probably a downside to Face ID at the moment. Now I'm gonna give a half and half right here, because Face ID does work in other methods as well. As I see in my own car, I do have one of these little stands that sits right here, and all I have to do is just quickly glance at it, it'll unlock, and I actually can see all the notifications without an issue at all. But in other cases, if you guys don't have that mount, and you guys actually have to look down, grab your phone, look at the device, and do that whole process right there, it does take a little while, and you're gonna get pretty distracted. You guys might actually get a ticket for doing that. So keep a lookout for that. If you guys do have an iPhone X, iPhone 10 with Face ID, probably the best thing to do is buy that mount, quickly glance at it, and it would unlock. Very nice feature right there. Alright guys, and for the final test, just imagine that you were in a kitchen and you're just cutting up some of your vegetables, and in this case I'm cutting up some ravioli right here. So, and I actually cut myself in my hand. Bam! Oh no, I caught myself. So I actually lose a portion of the finger right here, and if I wasn't enrolled in another finger within my device, Touch ID in this case would not work at all. I'm not going to damage my Touch ID sensor right here or make it all sticky, because I do have a little bit of blood right on it. But anyways, you guys know that it wouldn't work in this instance, and you guys actually have to enter in your passcode. That's a pain right there. Of course, you're probably going to be running to get a bandage anyways. You're not going to be unlocking your phone for no, for any reason at all. But here, Face ID works perfectly. So let's just say your phone is damaged right now. You can actually pick it up, look it up your face, and it should unlock no problem at all. Now, this is the benefit of having Face ID so far, and I think Face ID is actually a very good alternative to Touch ID right now. It's just as secure, and it is 1 in a million instead of 1 in 50,000 that somebody could unlock your device. However, I really wish Apple did give us an option to have both integrated into the device. So if one didn't work, the other one would work. I do have instances where Face ID could not recognize me because of the way I was slanted, or the camera was slanted, or whatever's on my face, or something that's blocking my face. Now there's a bunch of variations of things that could cause Face ID to not work, and there's just the same amount of things that could cause Touch ID to not work. So again, best of both worlds. If Apple can release an integrated Touch ID onto the next year's generation device, that would be fantastic. But for now, I'm actually very happy with Face ID being on this. Actually works very nice, and so far so good, no problems at all. The only instance that I've been having is when I actually had a nosebleed and I got a little paper stuck up in it, as I mentioned in the previous video, and it couldn't recognize me, so I had to punch in my passcode. But yeah, this should be it for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the ultimate test for Touch ID versus Face ID. If you guys really did like it, remember to hit that like button, and that would really show me that you guys really liked the video, and I would make more of these. If you guys really liked it, hit that subscribe button and that bell button as well. If you guys don't hit that bell button along with that, it wouldn't give you guys any of my latest videos coming up. I really appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.